Hey everyone, welcome back to IIT and Education channel. In the last class we have covered autotrophic nutrition, right? Autotrophic nutrition is done. Of what? What is this about? Yes, this can be seen in plants, right? Green plants. Then be louder, I can't hear. Yes, algae and in some type of bacteria. So what is next? Next is heterotrophic nutrition, right? So what about this heterotrophic nutrition? It is like you can find this mode of nutrition in non-green plants. Why non-green plants? Tell me, just think. Non-green plants means there will be no chlorophyll, right? Lack of chlorophyll means the plant doesn't have the capacity to trap the solar energy. And so without solar energy, it cannot produce its own food, right? So heterotrophic nutrition means the plants that are dependent on other organisms or other plants for their food or energy needs. Okay, and this dependence on other what do you call organisms or plants or anything for its energy needs may be a total one or partial one. Okay, so if we get into this heterotrophic nutrition, we can say that there are two types of nutrition in this mode. What are those? Those are like, one is parasitic plants, okay, and the other type is insectivorous plants. So what is the difference between these two categories? Tell me. Yes, parasitic plants are like these plants live on or in the body of another living organism, and that other living organism is called as what? Host. Okay, and so these parasitic plants derive their energy from the host, and as I have mentioned, this can be either total dependence or partial dependence. Okay, so with that we will come to total parasitic plants or partial parasitic plants. What is it? Total parasitic plants or partial parasitic plants. So I hope you understood the meaning of parasitic plants. Parasitic plants are these are a sort of plants which depend on other living organism, and that organism is called a host. Okay, and they derive their energy needs from that host. Okay, so parasites in normal language too, like if we are not speaking about the plants, if we generally say about the parasites, those parasites will be the organisms that depend on other organisms, and these parasites or parasitic plants, they have this character of harming the host. Okay, so it is not like they are mutually benefiting from each other. It is that the parasitic plants for its own benefit will be causing or will be getting the host into some disadvantageous position. Okay, so this is about the total parasitic plants and the partial parasitic plants. We will look into the examples of these. Okay, so here I have put some pictures here, right? You can see all these. So these come under the category of total parasitic plants. Okay, and this one comes under partial parasitic plant, and this partial parasitic plant, this one here that I have mentioned, is called as what? Mistletoe. Okay, and these, so this is very famous. Okay, what is this? This one, you can see these, right? This is a very famous parasitic plant, total parasitic plant, called as cuscuta or dodder. Okay, so what about this? What is the peculiarity of this? This will have thread like stems that twine around the plant. See, you can see this is so thin, right? So it has thread like stems, and that will twine around the stems of the host plant. Okay, and so what happens here, this plant will have some special root like structures called as hostoria. What is it? Hostoria. Okay, and this will penetrate into the host and it will absorb the nutrients of the host plant. Okay, and as this is a totally dependent parasite, it is like for every energy needs it will depend upon the host plant. Okay, so we call it as a total parasitic plant, and it is a very important example, and this you can expect in your competitive exams. Okay, now in the similar manner, this is called as balanophora. What is it? Balanophora, and this is also one other type of a total parasitic plant. And this one, can't you see, this is like a flower, right? And such a huge flower. This plant called as Rafflesia. What is it? Rafflesia is known to give the world's, it will produce, this plant of Rafflesia will produce the world's largest flower. Okay, and this is also a total parasitic plant. Okay, done. And this one actually it will infiltrate the roots of a vine plant. Okay, next, how about this one? This is a partial parasitic plant, and the example is mistletoe. Okay, here as you can see, these will have green leaves, and so it can synthesize its own food, but for water and mineral requirements these will depend upon the host. Okay, so that as this mistletoe is depending only for water and minerals on the host plant, and it is making its own food, this is called as partial parasitic plant. So I hope you got the difference between total parasitic plants and partial parasitic plants. Okay, now the other type of plant that shows heterotrophic nutrition is, what is it? Yes, insectivorous plants. Oh, imagine a plant eating the insects, right? How can a plant derive nutrition from some insects? First of all, how will it move to attack the insects? Right, so nature has many mechanisms, right? So some plants that are actually deficient in what do you call, chlorophyll, and some other plants that cannot derive the nutrition from these like parasitic form of waste. Okay, they have adopted like they have what do you call, adapted to the conditions in a way that their structure will let the insects fall in the trap of those plants. You got it right? So what is it like? Now we will look into some examples of this insectivorous plants, and there will not be anything so common in between all these insectivorous plants. Each one of these plants will develop its own way, method, structure in order to trap the insects. Okay, and from these insects they will derive all the nutrition they want. Okay, now let us look into these insectivorous plants. So if you want to know more about this insectivorous plants, first of all we should understand what are the characteristics of these insectivorous plants. These insectivorous plants as such are green in color. It means that they can carry out photosynthesis, implying they can synthesize their own food, right? Glucose and so-called starch, everything will be handled by the plant itself. But how about the protein requirement? It means that I told you that plants do need nitrogen, right? And as these plants live in nitrogen deficient soil, okay, so they have developed structures, okay, that will help trap the insects so that they can derive the nitrogen from those insects. Okay, so as these plants are eating insects or ingesting, or what do you call, taking up insects and deriving some nutrition from the insects, you can call these to be carnivorous plants. Okay, what are these? Carnivorous plants. So further, if we have to see the structure of these plants, we can say that the leaves of these insectivorous plants are modified in a way that they can trap the insects. Okay, and the examples would be Venus flytrap. What is it? These examples are very important. Venus flytrap, pitcher plant, sundew, and bladderwort. Not and, actually there are many other things too, but for the examples here I am specifying, I have added the word and. Okay, so these every plant here, they have their own structures, like everything is not similar. Like whatever structures you find in Venus flytrap, you cannot find it in the pitcher plant. So the mechanisms are different, the structures are different, the adaptations are different, everything is different. Every plant, every, like whatever I have mentioned here, they have their own peculiarity, their own modifications, adaptations, so that they can catch hold the insects. Okay, now let us see into a couple of examples like how these structures would be. Okay, so about the pitcher plant, first we shall see the peculiarity of the pitcher plant. So pitcher means bottle shaped, right? What is meant by pitcher? Bottle shape. So the leaves here are modified in a way that it resembles a bottle. Okay, so as like how the bottle will be hollow in between, in the same manner the pitcher plant will have hollow leaves. Okay, and here it will be filled with sweet nectar, so that the insects will get attracted to this nectar and will come into this trap, and there will be a lid, okay, which opens and closes, and once the insect enters inside, it can't come out. Okay, so because of this nectar, the insect will get attracted, and because of this shape, it will just get into the bottom. Okay, so this is the peculiar structure that the pitcher plant has developed in order to attract the insects. Nice, amazing, right? Next, Venus flytrap. How about this? Here what happens, you know, there will be a structure like this. Okay, and there will be some hair here. Okay, this is called as trigger hair, and when some insect comes here and it whenever there is some movement of this hair, then this trigger hair will make these things to what do you call, to bind with each other, and so it won't allow the insect to come out. Okay, as such, and any insect will get trapped if it comes here, and also it has some slippery surface here. Okay, so what happens is that the Venus flytrap will have two lobes, right? What I have mentioned here are the two lobes, and this inner surface will have some hair, and when the insect touches the hair, the lobes mesh up together to trap it. Okay, so insectivorous plants, you can see that they can actually exhibit both types of nutrition, right? Yes or no? Why? Because they are green plants and they can synthesize their own food, so they will also show autotrophic nutrition. Okay, autotrophic mode of nutrition. Apart from that, for its nitrogen needs, what it does, it depends on insects for it. Okay, so it will become carnivorous here to fulfill its nitrogen deficiency or needs. Okay, so if there is any question, if it is as like insectivorous plants shows which type of nutrition, you just don't think that it shows only heterotrophic nutrition, it shows both autotrophic and heterotrophic nutrition. Okay, so you can see both modes of nutrition in insectivorous plants, and this is very important. You may have this in competitive exams, don't forget about it. And the examples too that I have mentioned, what were those? We have seen about the pitcher plant and Venus flytrap, and apart from this we know that sundew and bladderwort are also some types of heterotrophic nutrition, the plants that show heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Okay, and there are some other special modes of nutrition like saprotrophic nutrition, and we will see into this, but maybe I'll end the video here, and in the next chapter we will see about the special modes of nutrition, and also we will look into the modes of nutrition in animals. Okay, we will do both of these things in the next video. Okay, it's done for now. I hope you got it. Okay, bye, see you.